So a lot of people are worried about the brand new The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom game, but I'm here to say that I think it is exactly what the Zelda franchise needs, and here's why. So for starters, obviously with the recent release of Tears of the Kingdom just a little over a year ago now, we all are pretty burnt out on it, mainly because it's the same exact world as Breath of the Wild with a couple of additions that really didn't add all too much to the game world as is. We had a handful of sky islands and a copy-pasted depths below, and that was about it, so there wasn't really much more to explore. However, in Echoes of Wisdom, it's looking like we may have an entirely new map to explore. Maybe. A lot of people have noticed that this map looks a lot like A Link to the Past's map, and if that is the case, then we are going to be facing the same exact issue that we had with Tears of the Kingdom, where it just feels all too similar to previous Zelda titles. Now, we have already seen locations that have not been in Link to the Past, like Gerudo Town, and I'm going to go ahead and talk about the Bread Pirates video on this. He basically said that if these new locations are just overlapped over old locations, it's not going to be that great, and it's just basically going to feel like Tears of the Kingdom again. If these new locations expands the map and makes it larger, plus the old locations from A Link to the Past, then we're going to have a much better situation, obviously, because we're going to have a completely new set of areas to explore. Now, it could always be that the map just looks similar and there are similarities, maybe just to kind of call back to the old games, but I kind of doubt that. I feel like a lot of it is going to be reused, which in my opinion is fine as long as there's enough new stuff to keep us entertained. Now I want to go ahead and talk about the gameplay because the gameplay is a lot of what people are concerned about, specifically the combat. A lot of people have pointed out that the combat feels slow and boring looking, as you just summon rocks to throw at enemies or can control different enemies. And again, in my opinion, I think that this looks great. It is obviously a very big change from classic Zelda combat where you just take a sword and mindlessly swing your way through different enemies. Now you actually have to carefully plan each encounter on what echoes you're going to use and how you're going to use them. I think that this is going to be a much more puzzle-focused combat system, and I think it is going to be a good change to make the game feel much more fresh. I think that this is exactly what we need for a new sideline Zelda game. And then obviously we're playing as Zelda, so we can't have the basic combat. I still don't really understand why people are complaining about that, considering we're playing as Zelda. It would feel literally no different if we just had a sword as Zelda. Then it'd basically just be a reskinned Link, and that would be literally no fun at all. So, kind of glad that we have something new here. We're also going to have a completely new story. It's not going to be a sequel, and I feel like sequels always, in some cases, have a weaker story. And I think in Tears of the Kingdom's case, Tears of the Kingdom actually had a stronger story than Breath of the Wild. That is my opinion. A lot of people still enjoy Breath of the Wild story more. But Echoes of Wisdom is going to be something completely new. Instead, Link is the one in need of saving, and Zelda is going to have to go on a grand adventure to save him. I think that this is, again, a fantastic change, something that we've never had before now. Anyways, that's all for this little yap session. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.